Hello and welcome to the new video FlyOver here, and here we are at the third leg already on our world tour. Well, yes, yesterday we agreed that we're gonna call it a world tour because, well, kinda it is a world tour. What else it is? It is world tour because probably after I arrive in Croatia we will continue further and make a turn around the world and come back to Malaysia. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Okay, so we are here in Phuket Airport and we will be flying to a Chumphon airport. Yesterday I said Chumphon, but it's not Chumphon, it's Chumphon. Actually, I believe I pronounce it correct. I'm really not sure how to pronounce these Thai names. And yes, we have traffic on, live traffic from Microsoft Flight Simulator, and as you can see we already have one Finnair here on the gate in front of us. So yeah, we have live traffic, just need to pay attention on that when we taking off and landing and everything. Anyway, let's just jump into the cabin and let's close the door and let's prepare our aircraft as we usually do. Okay, so today we have takeoff from runaway 09. That is exactly the same runway we landed yesterday, the one without ILS. So we don't have much to taxi, just here around the corner to the right, not much, but anyway we're gonna do everything what it need to prepare our aircraft and do all checklists and exercises and everything else. So without further ado, let's just start. Let's pull out the checklists and let's do pre-flight interior, pre-flight exterior. Okay, let's do pre-flight interior. So parking brake is set, gear selector check down, yes it is, avionics off, mixture lean, yes it is lean. Let me just set up that, yes it is lean. Okay, throttle is down, magnetos is off, magnetos, whatever. Battery switch, let's turn it to on. Fuel quantity, we have around 50%. I already tanked the fuel, so we have around 50% of fuel, which is more than enough. Annunciator panel, let's just check that out. Is everything light up? Yes it is, very good. So that is checked. Battery switch off now, of course. Flight controls, yes they are free and correct. Rudders, yes they are. Flaps, yes they are, very good. Flight controls free and correct. Tick item, flaps check. Elevator trim neutral, so elevator trim is neutral, that is good. All right, let's tick it. And that is all about interior check. Let's go to the engine start, circuit breakers, let's check them out. Yeah, they are all in, good. Alternate air is off, prop lever on max RPM. All right, let's put it on max RPM. Fuel selector to the fullest tank, we have fresh fuel, so it is totally whatever what tank we're gonna choose, but let's just check that all because we are done. Now we have cold engine start because we didn't run this engine from yesterday, so let's just follow the procedure. 1 inch is enough. Half travel, battery switch on. Okay, let me just put battery on, alternator on. Let's just tick that all. Battery, alternator. beacon. Beacon is on. Navigation lights, that will be this one here, on. Fuel pump, low or use primer button. I'm gonna use primer button, but need to reach the mixture, and we're gonna prime the engine. That is more than enough. Now we can lower down a little bit. Okay, so this is checked, this is checked. Propeller is clear, there is nobody around, and we can start our engine. And let's aim for like 1500 RPM, something like that. That's it. You can close the window now to have more silence, right? Ignition start, okay, mixture is rich, engine start successful, magnetos are on board, throttle to 1500 RPM. Oil pressure is good. All right, and that is done. Today, like I said, we're gonna fly from Phuket to Chumphon. It is simple flight, something around 200 miles. It's very easy. Let me just, while we're speaking, turn on all the avionics. Put our squawk to on. Let's turn on DME. I'm not turning on the ADF because we don't use it at the moment. It can stay off, same like that GPS, no problem at all. So just a little bit more RPM, around 1500, something like that. Let's turn off automatic gear extension because we don't need it. We can also turn on landing lights, and what we can do, we can actually start taxiing to the runway, and where we going to set up on the upwind course and also do our prop exercise, but that one later, of course. Just move here. Let's set up here for our prop exercise. Set up in the upwind direction. Pull the parking brake, and now we can do our the rest of our checklist. Okay, parking brake set, mixture is rich, prop lever is max RPM, that is good. Throttle set to 2000 RPMs, let's do it. Something like that. That's good. Let's check our magnetos. Is there any drop? Yes, there is. There is a drop. Okay. So we can check both magnetos. That is done. Vacuum gauge looking good. Oil pressure and temperature, yes, they are rising now as the engine is heating up. They are rising. That is good. Ammeter, yeah, looking good. Test again annunciators, yes, looking good. Exercise prop. There is one. There is two. It's very slow when that prop's coming back to the full RPM. Really slow. But it will definitely come back to and that is 3. And seems like that somebody just landed on the runway over there. Like I said, we have traffic and that is awesome. Okay, propeller exercise done. Alternate air is off. Auxiliary boost pump is off. Fuel pressure is good. Engine idle. Let's check engine idle. It is around 700 RPM, something like that. It says 600 to 650, but here is around 700. It's a little bit lower, so yeah, let's say it's good. And also throttle adjust to 1200. That is approximately like this. So we can now do our lights, turn them on. Landing lights on. I will start the fuel pump and we can actually taxi to the runway and take off for today's flight. Oh, by the way, before I forget, let's just set up the navigation. We need to set up our Phuket VOR for now, and that will be 116.9, which is already here, 116.9, but our course for today is gonna be 022. So 022 it 022. So let's say if north is 0, I am very sorry about this noise if you can hear it, because somebody just decided to cut the grass here in front of the house. I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, they will go away soon, hopefully. So this is 0. We need to go to 022. Let's set up here. Here is much more precise to set up. 010, 015, 02, 020, 12. 022. It's gonna be something like this. That is going to be our first course for today. I'm so sorry about this noise. They really decided just now to cut the grass, but they will go fast. It's from city council actually, people who just cutting the grass on the street. So yeah, that's it. We can already prepare our autopilot, just not start it yet. Just prepare it on heading, and let's set up the runaway heading, which will be 85. It's gonna be 85, so 60, 70, 85, something like this, let's say. A little bit, yeah, that's good. Okay, now we can go and taxi for the takeoff. Now I'm going to be smart, and before I enter the runway, I'm gonna check everything for traffic, of course. Let's stop here. Let's stop here. Let's turn our squawk on and let's check. There is nobody in approach, and the runway is clear. This thin air is still there, so yeah, seems like we are good to go. Let's just taxi out and take off. Again, we're gonna take off without flaps because we have plenty of runway, and also trim is going to be full neutral. And actually we can just take off. Whoa, 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 whoa. There is a crosswind here, which really drag me on the opposite side, so I will need... Whoa. There is some kind of crosswind here, definitely. I was hoping I can just take off with right rudder, but nope. It really pushed me. I will check the weather later and check what kind of crosswind we actually have. But I'm going to fly straight up for a while. Let's trim it for some nice speed of around 100 knots. Something like that. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Look at that. Just look at all those islands and everything. It's really awesome. Yeah, we're going to fly on 5,500 feet today. That will be our cruise altitude as we go. And let's start making left turn, so we can pick up with our course, right? Something like that. Oh, there is some clouds, obviously. $3,000 feet. Landing light can go off, and also as the fuel pump. We are almost aligned with our course. Maybe a little bit overshoot, but that's fine. That is super easy to correct. I'm going to set our autopilot now, and it will eventually catch up with the course. Just going to set up heading in that direction too. That is good. And also what we need to do is tune up Chumphon VOR, which is 110.0, and I'm going to tune that in this one, but we are definitely a little bit too far. We cannot catch that one yet. We are passing 4,500 feet. We can go easier on RPM now a bit, something like 24,000. feet. As you can see, we have some mountains in front of us. We're gonna pass them, definitely. We're gonna be clear to pass them on 5,500 feet. QNH I already said before, so it was actually exactly the same like yesterday, so I didn't touch it. It was exactly same. But what about Chumphon? QNH. Let's see. Oh, there is 10.012, actually 1012. There is quite a difference, but okay, it is a distance actually, 168 miles, so yeah, it could be a difference in the QNH. Did I did not start the DME. Now it started. And yes, we are still far to catch Chumphon VOR. I believe we're gonna get it somewhere later a bit. But that's cool. Totally fine. We are on course. Let's lower down a little bit our throttle. Like I said, like around 27 at manifold pressure. It's totally fine. We could lean our mixture too. But let me set up the speed first. Let's see what is the temperature. Somewhere around 18 degrees, I would say. So 18 degrees, and we are flying at 5,500, which is let's say here. Now it's 0, it's 10, it's 20, let's say 18 degrees, somewhere around there. So we are flying around 140, which is pretty much correct. Yes. All right. Let's see outside a bit. What we can see, we cannot see much because it's cloudy. But behind us is really beautiful scenery of Thailand. Really amazing. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful, this flight simulator. Really amazing sceneries. And what I notice actually, when we move more towards the Europe, actually it will be even better, because it seems like those Bing maps are much better and more precise and more detailed in certain parts of the world than, for example, Asia. Asia is not that detailed like for example Europe or USA. USA is totally detailed. So that's it. Let's lean our mixture. Looking for a peak. And there we go. There is a peak. And then we go a little bit above the peak. And that should be our mixture for today. Yeah, it's a little bit below 10 gallons per hour, which is good, actually. So what we're gonna do now is just sit back and enjoy the scenery, because there is nothing much we can do now until we manage to get the frequency of the VOR at Chumphon. beautiful mountains. Yeah, we are now coming into the hilly area of the Thailand, but not for a long. Chumphon is on the sea coast, so actually we're gonna pass these mountains and come to the more level ground later. But that's probably the reason why we cannot still catch this Chumphon VOR, because of all that mountains. I believe we're gonna catch it only after we arrive somewhere further, after we clear those mountains, and then we will be able to probably see that VOR, otherwise not. Just hoping that we will still manage to get Phuket VOR while we are on this route, because if we lost both VORs, then we will have to fly on heading, and that is going to be tricky. Nothing, I'm gonna bring you later when something started to happening, because for now this is just flying over mountains, and well, for me it's enjoying in the good scenery. For you is watching a 1 hour video, and I know that you don't like 1 hour videos, so that's why I'm gonna cut it off as much as I can. As you can see now, we already have Chumphon VOR in range, as I set it up in Nav2. However, I'm not going to set up yet that, because we still having signal from Phuket VOR, and I'm going to hold to that for a while. But actually why I bring you back is because of this scenery. As much as we can see from the clouds here, but look at that. Look at just this. How amazing is this, and how beautiful. Just look at that. This is I believe it's some kind of a lake. It's not sea, definitely. It's some kind of a lake in the middle of Thailand, and look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful. My God. Look at what airplane doing because of turbulence and wind. My God. Yeah, that's what we're doing all the time. Up and down, up and down. But look at this scenery. My God. How awesome is this? It's really, really amazing. Crazy. Especially with all those clouds. If no clouds, it will be just ordinary scenery, but with these clouds it looks even more amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. Really beautiful. Yeah, let's try. Let's switch to heading, and let's tune the Chumphon VOR here. And let's switch back to on. Yeah, we actually have it, so we can just, yeah, it will be just a minor adjustment of the course. Big deal. Yeah, seems like it's very stable, and we can stay on that frequency right now. And in the in the Nav2, actually we can already tune the ILS frequency of the Chumphon VOR just to have it, and that will be 109.90. Yeah, that is going to be ILS frequency. I will just put it here to have it for memory, so I don't forget. Oh my God, look at what wind doing here above those hills. that is definitely because of all these hills, and wind is very unstable, so we have some gusts here. I was checking windy actually, windy.com, and it didn't say that it's gonna be that much of the wind, but probably that is something momentary, it's not constant, right? I believe so. So we are now 100 miles away from Chumphon VOR. When we arrive on Chumphon VOR, let me brief you for the approach again, like we always do. So as you can see, we're gonna arrive on Chumphon VOR somewhere from here. From the coast, let's say like that. And then we're gonna turn to a right heading of 049, that is for our category of aircraft. Fly 14 miles, and then it say here within D14 turn initiation. So when we are 14 miles away from the VOR, we're gonna turn a right heading of 239 and intercept ILS for the approach to the runway. Very easy, very simple. Wind is actually super calm, so we can actually land on whatever runway we want. It say here all runway good for landing or takeoff, so we can actually choose runway, and of course we're gonna choose the one with ILS, why not? And I believe it's much better approach, more prettier from the sea than from the land, so yeah, it looks better to me. So that is going to be our approach for today. We're gonna fly to the VOR, we're gonna turn right heading of 049. After that, after 14 miles, right heading 239 and intercept ILS, which we actually have here. As you can see, this is ILS chart, and it's 109.9 on 241 course. That's it. Amazing. Charts are amazing. So yeah, that is it again. I'm gonna bring you when we are a little bit closer, when we are about to start our descent. And yes, regarding the altitude, we have here on this chart, we have here minimum safe altitude of 3,200 feet. So that means if we are approaching from south direction, we have 3,200 feet, so we can be on 3,200 feet here, and then after we going there, we're gonna turn to a lower altitude. Well, actually, no need. 3,000 is intercept for. Actually, 1,900 is interception of the glide slope. Look at that. So actually, we should descend here. When we're doing that turn in that circle, we're gonna descend to approximately 2,000 feet and try to intercept the glide slope here, because it seems like it is pretty much short glide slopes, only 7 miles. Yeah, that's it. Okay, all clear, all good. So we're gonna come here at 3,200 or more, and then we're gonna descend here to approximately 2,000, actually 1,900 to be correct, and then we're gonna intercept our glide slope somewhere around here, around 7 miles from where when we make that turn from the VOR. Right, easy, very easy, super easy approach. Whoa, look at that. There is quite a wind here. So cool. Yeah, look, we even dropped our altitude a bit, but it's okay. I'm going to actually check the QNH of Chumphon now. We check, it's 1012. Let's set up QNH of Chumphon. Chumphon. These I don't know how to pronounce it. So 1012, somewhere around there, and seems like we will need a little bit of climb. Yeah, 012. We're gonna need a little bit of climb here to catch up with the altitude. So let's try to climb without touching the props. We can just pitch for a slow climb. This is totally fine because that's only a small correction, right? But we lose quite on an altitude because of those gusts and turbulence. There you go. 5,500. Let's stay there. Beautiful sky. There is a little bit of clouds, but it's not actually that bad. I'm expecting when we start to fly into India and further there that we will have much aggressive weather and much aggressive winds and also visibility and everything, but it's okay. We're gonna fly IFR, not VFR, so we are good to go. We are totally equipped to fly IFR. As you can see, we are still on the same course towards the Chumphon VOR, and actually I'm thinking here something, and I don't think I can bring that decision by myself, so I would like to ask you what would you like. But I'm thinking, like, should I fly all this tour with this aircraft, or maybe you want me to take some other aircraft like Cessna, I don't know, maybe some other Piper or whatever. We can do that, no problem at all. So we can actually change the aircraft anytime you want. We can bring back this Piper later in the series, or I don't know. You tell me. Just, do you want me to fly all the world tour with this one aircraft, or you want me to change aircraft occasionally, or sometimes just for fun, and so you can see how to fly another aircraft. And also what I wanted to say is this is not going to be only series on this channel, this world tour. Actually, I plan to do airliner flights with Airbus 320. Also, we can do flights with that occasionally. It's not going to be a part of this series, but it's going to be just separate videos, which I will put occasionally on the channel. And also, I am not only a flying sim enthusiast, I also like farming simulator and truck simulator, like for example American Truck and Euro Truck simulators, so we can play that too if you want. So yeah, it will be nice to hear from you and just a little bit of feedback, so I know actually what you like to see and what would you like the most to see on this channel. That's it. And one very important info, and that is that tomorrow not going to be a video because I won't be home whole day. Maybe if I manage to record afternoon when I come back, I'm gonna do it, but I won't make any promises. And if I manage to record something, maybe it's gonna be IFR flight with Airbus A320. We're gonna see. But then another day after tomorrow, we are going back to the normal schedule, right? Well, like I said, if I introduce other things to this channel, then it won't be physically possible to fly this world tour every day. But at this moment, I'm really enjoying in this. I really enjoy and I love it. But you know, we can bring some changes occasionally just to break the monotony of the channel and me always flying the world tour and everything. So yeah, we can make another videos too. I would like to hear from you, so please, if you watch this far into the video, please tell me in the comment down what would you like. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to actually turn off recording again because nothing interesting. We are still like far away, 65 miles, and I know that you don't like to watch videos of like 1 hour, 2 hours, so yeah, I'm gonna short it as much as I can. As you can see, we are now approaching our Chumphon VOR. We are 13 miles away and we're gonna start our descent slowly. So I'm going to pull back on throttle a little bit and just let airplane go down. We're gonna descend to 3,000 feet. That will be our initial altitude for the approach. So let's just go down. And then after we turn right on the Chumphon VOR, we're gonna descend further to 1,900 feet. That will be our intercept altitude for the ILS. Let's just do slow descent. We have time, we don't have to worry about that. But what will be good is to put mixture and prop to full. We're gonna turn on our landing lights and also auxiliary fuel pump, which should be on for landing. After we clear those clouds, I believe we will be in position to see the airport already. 7.6 miles. I'm going to switch to a heading now, and let's set up our course of 049. That is going to be our course for the approach, 049, and then we're going to fly 14 miles away from the VOR. So let's just wait until this needle started to align, and after that needle started to align, we're gonna switch back to the autopilot, I mean to the Omni mode, right? And that is going to happen as soon as we actually come close to the VOR. It won't be actually very precise at the moment, so I think I'm gonna do a heading maneuver and then later establish a proper course of 049. That is going to be better. We are 4.6 miles away from the VOR, as you can see. I'm going to initiate turn somewhere around maybe 2 miles before, something like that. We can now actually level up because we are at 3,000 feet, but we're gonna continue our descent after we establish the course. 2.8 miles. We can see airport already, as you can see. There it is. Let's go out. There it is. Beautiful airport. So when we land, we're gonna vacate to the right. Yeah, 2.2 miles. We are waiting actually because VOR is exactly at the airport. Not left, not right, but exactly next to the runway. So yeah. Still waiting a bit. But this needle will go very fast actually. So what we can do, we can start slowly turning a bit. .8 miles. It's just, we are just above the VOR now. So yeah, let's start turning. And we can switch to the mode, Omni mode, yeah. And now we are actually on the course 049 from the Chumphon VOR, and we will fly that direction 14 miles. During that 14 miles we're gonna descend further to 1,900 feet, because that is our ILS interception altitude. So we're gonna descend further. Oh yeah, if you wonder, I did switch the fuel tank, but actually I forgot, so I did it like halfway there. So we are now still using this tank, and you can see there is a little bit more than in the left tank, so I think we will be good until we land with that situation. But it's okay, it happens. I forget to set up stopwatch, so I didn't actually set properly, but that's good. That is just fine. So after 14 miles we're gonna make our turn towards the actually VOR back, but that is going to be heading off 249 for the ILS approach. So 249. That is almost backward from now, as you can see. Okay, we are now at 2000 feet almost, and we're gonna level up on that altitude. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tune Chumphon VOR here and switch the DME to the Nav2 just for the measure. I'm gonna switch to heading mode, and I'm gonna set up ILS already here in the VOR1, and that's gonna be 019 decimal 9, 019 decimal 9, and our ILS course is going to be 241, like I said. So 24. Let's come closer there and set it up properly. So 24. 241. That's it. That is going to be our ILS course, and we are still measuring distance from the VOR on the Nav2 because I have tuned it here. I don't have set up the course because we are in heading mode, but we are good. So let's say it will be something like this, but it doesn't matter. I only need to measure the distance. And why we have cloud situation right now here, very low. Okay, let's stop our descent on 1700 feet, which is a little bit low but still okay, until we intercept the VOR, the ILS, sorry. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform a right turn into the heading of 241 and try to intercept this localizer. After we intercept the localizer, we're gonna switch to localizer mode, and then we're gonna follow the ILS all the way down. Hopefully no clouds. Look at that. Yeah, it's just momentary clouds. It's nothing that big. So 12 miles away. Maybe we can deploy our landing gear now to give us a little bit of drag and slow down a bit. 13.1 miles. I'm going to deploy flaps 1 to lose a little bit more speed. And what we can do now, we can now already start turning to the ILS. So I'm going to make a turn, something like at the angle towards the localizer, something like this, maybe 220, let's say. We are flying now at the towards the localizer. I hope you get what I'm explaining. I don't know if you are used to aviation, you know what I'm doing, but if you are not, I don't know the better way how to explain this, but this is actually direction on of our runway, this arrow here, and this is how far we are from the straight line which is lead us directly to the runway. If you imagine straight line from the runway into the air, and this is our position of our aircraft in relation to that line, so that means we are still like some amount of distance away from that line. And when this line started to align with that line, that means we will be exactly on that line, and we need to turn to 240, to actually 241 for the intercept of the localizer, and to be aligned with the runway straight. That is actually, I believe, the most simple explanation of what am I doing here, because the needle navigation is all about needles. Right, all about needles, right? But yeah, we are going already nicely, and hopefully we're gonna intercept our localizer before we intercept the glide slope. It should be, because glide slope is around 7-8 miles away, and we are now 10 miles away from the VOR. So I believe, well, okay, we can actually switch now. We are 11 miles away from the localizer. We can switch now to measure the distance from the localizer, not to VOR anymore, because we don't need that VOR anymore. We now have localizer to guide us. So yeah, I'm expecting any second that this needle start to move, and when that needle start to move, I'm gonna switch it to localizer mode. Our speed is good. We're gonna deploy more flaps later. First is to intercept the localizer, which definitely gonna happen within few seconds. I can see already needle moving. You can see that too, right? And I'm going to switch to the localizer mode, because needle has started to move, and now we can make our heading also 241. In the case of missed approach, hopefully we won't have it. And as you can see, glide slope, we are still below the glide slope, which is good actually, because you cannot intercept glide slope if you are above. You need to chase it. So if we are below the glide slope, if we stay on this altitude at a certain amount of time, we're gonna intercept it and then start to follow. It's that simple, you know. It's really, look, you can see already the needle of the glide slope is started to move slowly down. So what I'm going to do is just slowly pitch the aircraft down, but not much, because I still need to deploy 2 level of flaps, and they will bring me up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy flaps 2. We are on the glide slope almost, a little bit below, but that's fine. I just want to stabilize the aircraft. We are on the ILS also, I mean on the localizer. As you can see, we have runway in front of us. Look, there is a runway, and we are going straight to it. I mean, that's how things work. Is that easy, right? So what I'm going to do now is deploy another level of flaps. That is final flaps. And I'm going to control my pitch with the throttle now. We are a little bit above, so we need to go faster down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower down the throttle, and aircraft will pitch itself down a bit. We are now on the glide slope again. You can see that either here, these needles aside, or you can see it here. See, now we are below, so that means we need to pitch up a little bit. We need to pitch up a little bit because we are too low. So I'm gonna add a little bit of throttle and also trim it a little bit. You just control your aircraft with that 2 things, trim and throttle, right? So let's slow down our descent because we are really too low. Let's catch up with the glide slope again. Okay, we are catching up with the glide slope, as you can see. There is a little bit of trees in front of the runway, and there is a little bit of wind, as you can feel it. Now we are above the glide slope, so we need to catch up again. Let's go down. Let's turn off the autopilot and land on our own. Glide slope doesn't matter anymore. And that was nice landing. Not perfect, but nice. And we can vacate runway immediately here. That is good. We can turn off our smoke. And also we can clean the flaps. And we can taxi to the any parking position. Say oh, we can taxi anywhere. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to taxi right here. And park right here. That is going to be our parking for the day. Let's pull the parking brake and let's close the aircraft. Which means turn off all avionics. That is it. Turn off lights, landing lights. Turn off these lights. Props to minimum. Mixture to minimum. Now engine will die. And we can turn off the fuel. We can turn off everything here. Switch off magnetos. Fuel pump. Landing lights is already off. Alternator. And finally battery. So that's it. Our aircraft is closed, and what we can do further is secure the aircraft. So we can put chokes and tie downs. Open the door to get some fresh air and enjoy in the new place where we have arrived. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, tomorrow will be no video because I have to go somewhere and I don't think I will be able to record. But day after tomorrow again. And please, what I asked you before, what do you like? Do you like me to fly with this particular aircraft whole world tour, or you want me to change to some other airplanes? Or also, would you like to see some other videos type Airbus 320, not in this series but separate videos? And also, what about other simulators like Euro Truck, American Truck and everything else? Thank you very much for watching, and of course, see you in the next video.